Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. You may notice that the background, our setting has changed quite a bit, and that's because I moved exactly a month ago today. We're not done. I'm still settling in, still setting stuff up. Don't look at my bookshelf because it's empty. It's under construct. Well, it's not empty. It's full of fucking junk, but it has no books on it yet. I'm working on it. It's under construction. My books are still in boxes. Just don't look at it, ignore it. Also don't look over here either. Oh, my Roku. That's definitely gonna be distracting in the video. Fuck me. Hopefully it's fine. Today we're gonna be talking about my recent reads, and I'm gonna be honest with you friends, the reading year hasn't started too great. Not a great start. I've only read 5 books so far between January and February combined, which for me personally, not that great. I usually read 4 to 5 books per month, and I only read 3 books in January, and I only read 2 books in February, and one of which was a novella. Not that great, but it's fine. We're gonna be talking about those 5 books that I've read so far in the year. There will be no spoilers, so you are free to watch all the sections. Let's get started. If you've been anywhere near people who talk about books or like read regularly, I'm pretty sure you've seen this book around, heard about it, seen the cover or something, because it has been everywhere. It's basically a mild dislike to lovers about a hockey player and a figure skater set in college. One morning, the hockey team finds their skating rink completely trashed and out of commission for an indefinite amount of time, which means they now have to share the figure skating rink with the figure skaters, much to the displeasure of our female main character, Anastasia, Stassi for short, who is very serious about going to the Olympics. Even though I rated this a 2.5, it wasn't terrible. When I first started this, I was enjoying it and I liked being back in, this little fun romance with like college kids. It was enjoyable for a while, but my enjoyment definitely waned 60% into it. Let me start with some positives. I feel like this book had little to no miscommunication. The main characters were, for the most part of the book, very honest and straightforward about their intentions, and it was honestly refreshing to see. So in that aspect, I think it was great. I think the characters were very mature about having those types of conversation and being upfront about whatever was going on in the relationship. The found family didn't hit because there were just way too many characters and they all eventually blended together. They didn't have any distinct voices. In the end, this was fine. I think if a romance is over 350 pages, eventually it's gonna start pissing me off. That's usually what happens. So really, whose fault is it? Because if we had stopped at page 300, maybe this could have stayed at a 3.5. Maybe it could have been a 4, because I did like this in the beginning. One last thing, can someone please explain to me the Henry hype? Because that man, there is nothing special about that guy. Like, he's for real just some guy. The book swore up and down that this guy was like the second coming of Christ or something. Everyone in this book acted like he got all the bitches, when in fact he is very much bitchless. I just don't understand. Also, he was kind of just blunt, deadpan, a little bit mean. There's nothing really great about him. I don't get the hype, and it drove me insane every time a character would be like, especially the female character Stassi, whenever she was mad at Nathan, she would be like, oh my god, if only I could date Henry, he's so perfect and blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay bitch, go date him then. The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This is about a middle-aged man who returns to his childhood home for a funeral, and memories of when he was 7 and met a girl who called a pond by his house her ocean start to resurface. This is a reread, and it was a lot less engaging the second time around, which is unfortunate. My original rating was a 5 out of 5, and reading it maybe 8 years later, I'm not too sure. Oh my god. 12 years later? I either read this in 2012 or 2014. I can't remember. One of those years. So some years have passed and my rating now is a 4, which isn't bad. At some point, I just feel like the story got a little bit repetitive and I didn't understand why the veterans let the child handle everything, especially with such a challenging foe. A lot of the shit that happened wouldn't have happened if they had just gotten off their ass and dealt with it sooner rather than later. I don't know. but I liked them though. It made for a very suspenseful story. I still think this book is super immersive. It was incredibly frustrating and stressful, but the magical realism is still top notch, and if I'm being honest, it was proper scary at times, and I desperately wanted to bash the dad's head in multiple times. In My Dreams, I Hold the Knife by Ashley Winstead. I gave this a 2 out of 5 stars. I didn't do any additional writing for this. I usually have my thoughts gathered in one big paragraph or several paragraphs, but I'm not doing that for this book because I don't think it deserves it. So I'll just read you my notes on it because I think they capture everything that I want to say. This is fully gonna be like a roast session for this book. I'm sorry to everyone that liked it. You might want to skip this part. No spoilers will be given.
I realized I don't give a fuck about this currently. Like, what the hell kind of petty bullshit is this? It's like Gossip Girl for 30 and up. You're like too grown for this. No, that man stood in front of me now, looking at me with wild abandon, grass-green eyes, dangerous as ever. Coop. This is written so dramatically for no reason, and I'm not vibing with it. For such a cool cover, I expected the story to be about something much less melodramatic. Jessica is pathetic. I really do not feel sorry for her ass. Watch your thoughts pass across your face like clouds across the sky. Corny ass bullshit. Pathetic, status-hungry bimbo. I don't give a fuck about their stupid romance or this dumbass love triangle. It's literally clear that she's only fascinated by blank and the prospects of what them being together could bring her. She don't give a fuck about that boy. I love how they're all distinct tropes of characters. The bad boy, the rich golden boy, the underdog, the jock, etc. But they all have the same personality traits. Derogatory, by the way. I would've killed her ass too, not gonna lie. You know damn well this is an opportunity she Oh, fuck off. Dark academia, and it's just a bunch of soap opera bullshit. And it's dragging and dragging and fucking dragging. Jesus, get to the point already, damn. Really? No jail time?
Heart Haunt Havoc by Freitas Moon. I gave this a 3.5 out of 5 stars. The storygraph description for this says, laced with romance, gothic imagery, Catholic mysticism, diaspora, and horror. When lonely transgender exorcist Colin Hart finds himself challenged by an unruly haunted house in Gideon, Colorado, he's kept awake by ghosts, demons, ghouls, and the handsome non-binary owner of the house, Bishop Martinez. Unlike the simple hauntings Colin is accustomed to, Bishop's house is a living beacon, attracting a plethora of inhuman creatures, including a vengeful wolf-headed spirit who might be the key to quieting their sleepless nights. But as a heartbreaking mystery unravels, Colin comes face to face with the past Bishop tried to bury, opens a closet full of bloody skeletons, and trips into an accidental romance. As paranormally skilled as Colin might be, this particular haunting may be too messy for him to handle. Wow, this is a really good description. Whoever wrote this, you're really good at writing synopses. In short, it's about a transgender exorcist who comes to this non-binary owner's house to exorcise the ghosts and the demons that haunt the house. This was good. I really enjoyed the writing and the overall concept and execution of the story, even though I feel like it did start dragging towards the middle, especially for such a short book. Which brings me to my next point. I think Freitas Moon is crazy for being able to fit all of this into a novella. Such a rich and structured plot in so little pages, so I definitely commend them for that. This is drenched in religious imagery and actual religion, especially Catholicism. I know this may put off and has put off by the reviews a lot of people, which is understandable. So if too much religion makes you uncomfortable, I would maybe skip this one. And Colin the Exorcist doesn't view it in a negative light at all. In fact, he very much sees it as a home that he wants desperately to get back to. I personally enjoyed the religious aspects. I grew up Catholic and I went to an all-girls private Catholic school, so you could say it's right up my alley. If you enjoy what Ethel Cain does with her music, maybe you might like this. I don't know. Let's start with the characters. I liked Colin well enough. I thought he was cool, calm, collected, and confident. Just the right amount of haunted while still being open instead of annoyingly cagey and defensive. Unlike somebody, he had an intriguing past and everything was revealed gradually and at the time that it was supposed to. I liked the Bishop a lot less, unfortunately. They started out great. I thought they were a little straight-laced asshole with like a teasing, playful side. Turns out only the former was present for most of the novella, and they just became annoying and a little pathetic by the end of it, especially during that sacrifice. Also, a lot of remarks that they made didn't really make sense to me and also kind of irked me a bit. I'll give you some examples. There's one bit where they're talking to Colin and they ask him, "What do you know about shame?" And I was like, first of all, you don't know him. You just met him, like literally maybe 2 weeks ago, right? Second of all, shame is probably one of the most universal emotions in the human experience. I doubt anyone has ever left this earth without feeling shame at least once in their life. You know what I mean? Like somebody who's lived for a couple of years, I'm sure they felt shame at one point or another. So I don't know why they asked that, like shame was some kind of rarity, or like, oh, you don't know what I've been through, like you could never have the shame that I have. Like, again, you don't know this man, okay? You don't know him. And second of all, it's not that hard to feel shame. So pipe down a little bit. So I thought that was weird, because what do you mean, what do you know about shame? Anyway, next one, which is a set of things that they said to a particular character. From a Viking witch, get the hell out of my house. She's a psychopath. I'll call if you're needed. Bitch. Huh? Who are you talking to right now? Just plain rude and stingy for no goddamn reason. And to have the audacity to do what they did at the end, man, fuck your plants. It's not quirky, it's not cute, it's not charming. I just really, really hate the mean to everyone but you trope. Grow the fuck up, dog. Literally grow up. I fucking hate that trope. If a person is mean to everyone except for one person, their significant other, you need to grow up. Anyways, that's my piece. Moving on to Taylor. I liked Taylor. She just grins and laughs a little bit too much because, girl, what's funny? What's so funny? She grinned and laughed so much in the little page time that she had that it just became awkward, because why are you grinning so much? But she was fun. I liked her. Now on to the main issue I had with this novella. The insta-love was very disappointing. Or should I say insta-lust. I was really looking forward to the romance, but it just didn't work for me. It was too instantaneous, too lustful, too sudden, without any sort of build-up. The attraction was immediate and it didn't really let me see why. And honestly, I don't mind an immediate attraction, because obviously that happens sometimes, but it's just the chemistry was not established at first. So I was like, what do you people even like about each other? You know what I mean? Like, we were told, but I don't think it was shown. Like, why did they even like each other other than the fact that they were both lonely and hurting and the only two people in close proximity? Do you know what I mean? And sometimes that's really all you need. But again, I wish that there had been a little bit more chemistry between the characters. There was also, I feel like, a lack of banter to appeal the characters not only to me but also to each other. But it is what it is. That being said, I will be checking out the sequel to this book. Our last book, Iris Kelly Doesn't Date by Ashley Herring Blake, I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is the first hit this year. This is the third book in the Bright Falls series. I don't know if this is the last book or if there are more books coming up. I think this may be the last one, but don't quote me on that. Love this. Love this. So good. Honestly, I thought Simon would be Iris's person and I really liked them together, but I like the fact that they're besties here and that he gets a lot of page time, because I did clock that chemistry in the last book. I love Simon. He kind of reminds me of Bob from Bob's Burgers, which is funny. Safe to report that I did like Stevie. Ugh, I was so nervous after not liking Jordan. I was so nervous about not liking whoever Iris ended up with, because I already knew I liked Iris and I liked her even more in this. But I liked Stevie. I liked her. Her characterization just hit a little bit too close. Just a little bit too close to home. I'm looking at Stevie and I feel like we're merging. I feel like we're blending together and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. You know that club scene when Stevie's trying to pick up somebody? Oh my god, she's me. In fact, I feel like I would have performed much worse than her. Loser! I don't know about the ending, but only because I'm a little bit of a pessimist and I'm filled with anxiety. So the ending right before the epilogue, I'm not too sure about, but the gesture leading up to it was just so fucking cute. It was so cute. I love the gesture leading up to that ending. Do I feel like Iris and Stevie are soulmates and that they'll last forever and they'll live happily ever after? I don't know. But honestly, I had fun. I enjoyed it. I had a good time, and I don't ask much from a romance. I got everything that I needed from it, so it was great in my book. I loved it. All right, friends, that is it for this video. Please let me know what you have been reading recently. Have you had a 5-star yet? Have you had a 1-star yet? Hopefully you haven't gotten a 1-star. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye.